Today I want to talk about the importance of letting go of tension for people who are interested in a lot of strength training, for you guys that work out, for you guys that are building muscle, for you guys that train. And so over the past 2 months, I started to focus a little more on strength training. And one of the things that I find that is really important when it comes to strength training is to balance it out by releasing the tension that gets created during strength training. So typically what happens is when we are building muscle and we're getting stronger, we start to lose mobility, we start to lose flexibility, and we start to build all this extra tension in the body. And so it's almost like a trade-off. It's like we want to get stronger, but we don't want any of those other effects. We want to keep all of it. And so a simple solution to that, I find, is actually to go and release the tension after we create it, where we work on vibrating the body, we work on shaking up the body, we work on a lot of mobility to go ahead and loosen up the muscles. And after you're done training and you're pumped up, you want to release all of the tension that was just created just now from the training. You want to release all of it. And when you're done with your workout, your body should be in complete relaxation. We create this tension while we're creating these muscle tears. Let's say if I'm doing a lot of push-ups or I'm doing a bench press or something. And while I'm creating these micro tears in my chest, I'm also creating a lot of tension in my chest and in my shoulders. So if we go and stretch out the body by vibrating the body, by opening up any tension that was created, then what we do is we create those micro tears when we exercised. And then we got rid of the tension that was just accumulated in the areas that we worked. And so what happens is now, when we're done with the workout, our body's relaxed. We accomplish creating those micro tears, which now will recover and come back, and our muscles will be stronger. And we get the benefits of both worlds. If we don't do that, then our body would just simply become tighter and tighter. And then when that happens, not only do we lose mobility, but it creates a lot of other issues, like blockages in our energy, getting our body to hold on to low emotions and all these other things. And so the importance of doing that allows us to be able to progress in building muscle, progress in strength training, in developing our bodies physically. But also at the same time, it also allows us to move forward and progress in our spiritual connection. And spiritual connection, I want to define that as specifically to connect to the way our body feels. Sometimes when we think of spiritual, we think about like other realms and these things that are so out there. But sometimes when we look at it, I like to keep things grounded. And the most grounded thing I can think of, the first level of it, is the ability to connect to our body. The ability for us to connect to the way we feel in our body. Because when we connect to the way we feel in our body, now we're able to connect to who we really are. Which is, we can't do that by being in our head. We have to connect to the body first. Because connecting to the body and connecting the way we feel, now when we connect to the way we feel and we connect to that feeling, now we can utilize the brain again. But when we utilize the brain, we don't activate parts of the brain that is what we will call our ego. And the reason why that is the process of connecting to our body. We can't connect to a body that feels very, very uncomfortable. We don't want to connect to it. Anybody that doesn't connect to their body, anybody that doesn't want to feel their body, the reason why is because our bodies don't feel good. You ever sit there, not do anything, and it just feels uncomfortable? You just feel uncomfortable inside. You feel uncomfortable staying still. You feel uncomfortable not doing anything, because when you don't do anything, suddenly your attention is connecting to your body. It's starting to be aware of your body. If your body doesn't feel good, you don't want to connect to it. You would bring your attention to something else. You would keep yourself busy. That's what we do. And so by connecting to our body, by default, we have to make our bodies feel better. And then when we make our bodies feel better, we can connect to the energy that's inside. We are energy. And when we can connect to the energy, it doesn't take special skill, by the way. Okay, that's something I've learned. I remember when I first started hearing about this and studying into this, it's like, whoa, man, connect to energy. Wow. It's actually easier than what it appears. It really is. All we have to do is simply slow things down, stay still, and put your awareness to the way your body feels. And any type of weird, uncomfortable feelings, all of that is your body simply holding on. And then now there's uncomfortableness in certain parts because those areas are blocked. Wherever area that's tense and our body's holding on, now those areas don't feel good. So then we do physical practices, we breathe, we tell ourselves nice things. We do all of these things to basically get the body to let go. And now the body lets go. And we feel the body more. We connect to the way we feel. We now are feeling the energy, which is by default. When we feel the body, we feel energy. Okay? That's how you feel energy. You don't have to try to learn how to feel energy. If you want to get deeper and deeper and deeper and progress, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to learn. But just typically to just feel the energy inside of us, just to feel energy by default is not a very difficult thing. All we do is increase the ability to feel in our body. And by default, feeling the body, inside the body, not just the outside, but also inside, we connect to the energy. And then when we connect to the energy, our energy, not just a energy, our energy, we connect to ourselves. You see? So when we try to think about who we are, we're not connecting to energy. We're just there thinking. But when we can feel the energy, we are now connecting to ourselves. Because see, we all want to be our own selves, right? We want to be authentic. We want to express who we truly are, which means we have to be ourselves. But how can we can't be ourselves by thinking about who we are. We can only be ourselves by connecting to ourselves, and then we can be. But because ourselves is energy, our soul is energy. Just like this body is energy, right? We all know that. Everything is energy. So we got to connect to the energy. And so when we connect to the energy inside, now we connect to our soul. And now we connect to our true self. And now from that connection, when we are connected, what we think about in our head is what we really are aligned with. When we connect to it, when we are doing something that isn't aligned, that isn't right, we feel it. We feel it. But if we aren't connected to ourselves, we're not connected to the energy inside ourselves, we can do something, and if it's not right, we can't feel it. We don't know. We don't know if it's right or not. And then if we just kind of think about it in our head, we're not thinking from our true self. This is what we call thinking from ego.